Hello YouTube family, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharita and welcome. And in today's video, we are diving into our little informal chit chat that we have probably once a month now about new and upcoming fragrance releases. They have not slowed down, okay? I thought we were in a little lull, but here we go again with a plethora of new releases from these fragrance houses. So which fragrances are coming soon? Let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, family, yes, I am back fresh from vacation and I definitely had a ball in Tokyo, but the jet lag has got me like going a little crazy. So this is my last video of filming for the day. And when I tell you, we are about to relax. Went to bed at 4 a.m., had to get up at 8 a.m. to shoot. So here we are. Before we get into the fragrances, I know y'all are gonna ask me about the glow, okay? Using a new product today, the One Size, the glass skin setting spray. I'm not even wearing highlighter, y'all. I'm not even wearing a highlighter, okay? No other captions needed. So let's go ahead and talk about this first one. This is actually a body spray. Body sprays are making quite the splash, especially in 2025. We saw a lot of it in 2024, but I like really see it piping up like every house. Beauty, fragrance, like everyone has a body spray collection coming or out. So this first one is called Spray Tan. This is from the house of Sniff. So I was included on kind of like this little smell board. They have it Sniff with some of their influencers. And I was able to smell 3 fragrances that they were trying to decide on for this body spray, and I hope it's the one that I picked. All 3 of them smell really good, I'm not gonna lie, but there was one that was a little unique that stood out from the others. And looking at the notes, this may be the one that I like the most, I'm not sure. But this is called Spray Tan and it's supposed to be a woody floral solar type of fragrance, but the notes are a little unique and I think that will come through in the scent. So it has notes of tiger lily, Manoi, vanilla, upcycle orchanox. Orchanox is somewhat like a molecule type musk, banana flower, and carrot. So carrot, banana flower, vanilla, like this sounds amazing. And I'm really looking forward to see which of the 3 they decided on, but I think I know which one. I think I know. If I remember the scent correctly, because the one I liked had just a little bit more complexity to it, and that's exactly what this one sounds like. So next up is a flanker from Marc Jacobs. In 2025, my goal is to add more designer fragrances, but you all know me, honey, if I don't love it, I'm not wearing it, I'm not buying it, I'm not getting it, I'm not holding on to it. And I must say this one has me a little intrigued, okay? So Marc Jacobs is about to drop Perfect Absolute, and I know like the recent Daisy release that launched not too long ago seems to be a hit. Like you don't see a bunch of people holding up Daisy bottles anymore, but that one I see is really making its rounds. So I do need to pop in and at least try that one, but this one sounds a little unique to the designer market. So again, this is Perfect Absolute, and this is going to be all about the fig, it seems. So this has notes of caramelized fig, jasmine absolute, and amber mentioned. It sounds a little floral but warm, and I'm here for it. So I definitely want to get my nose on that one. And I know there are a lot of perfect, stands out there with the flankers, the original, all of that. So let me know in the comments if you all are excited about this release. All right, so Byredo is continuing their expansion of the Absolute lines. A lot of these fragrances that are popular for the house with their basic eau de parfums, they're being upgraded to these Absolute concentrations. And I love my Blanche Absolute, which I own, but I do want to get my nose on more of them. Particularly, I would say Mojave Ghost and Gypsy Water, because I love those 2 original scents, but I never feel compelled to get a full bottle because people, their stance on the performance was my issue, especially at those price points. But when I did pull the trigger to buy Blanche, I never had any performance issues out of that one. So I don't know, sometimes you just gotta try stuff for yourself. Performance is very subjective. So I am really interested to see what Rose of No Man's Land Absolute smells like. It is coming and it is about to drop, and And this one features notes of saffron, black currant, pink pepper, middle notes of black raspberry, peony, and rose. And you have base notes of black amber, papyrus, and patchouli. So it sounds beautiful. I can always go for another rose, so I will definitely be getting my notes on that one. They are coming out with a Bal de Freak Absolute. I would assume this one will be pretty popular for the Absolute line, just because Bal de Freak has to be their most popular fragrance. If not now, I know it was. You could not, you know, scroll 10 times on your social media years ago without seeing someone holding up that bottle of Bal de Freak. I did have that one, the original, in my collection. I just never was a huge fan. I mean, it smells nice, but it just wasn't for me, so I decluttered it eventually. But the Absolute will have notes of lemon, bergamot, and black currant, middle notes of violet, praline, and musk, and the base notes are black amber, cedarwood, and vetiver. So let me know how you feel about that one. Will you be picking it up blind buy? Will you be stopping in to smell it? Dying to know. Now this one I have got to smell. Another designer. We're talking about Prada Paradoxe Essence. I did not like the original. I never tried the flanker. I think they have 2 flankers now, in addition to this one coming soon, I think. But I was not a fan of the original one. It was just so overbearingly like just designer sweet in not a good way. So I passed on that one because it was literally getting on my nerves. I sprayed some on my skin just to try it when it was first launched. Honey, getting on my nerves. It was, and never got a full bottle, never wanted to smell the next one. But this one seems like it might be a little departure, so we will see. I love a good pistachio note, and this features a salted pistachio, so I'm hoping this will balance out some of the sweetness that the original one had for sure. So this one has notes of neroli, orange blossom absolute, middle notes of salted pistachio, and base notes of sandalwood. So Prada Paradoxe fans, what are your thoughts on this upcoming release? Pistachio is having a moment. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I know we were kind of anticipating it to have a bigger moment in the past, but I think the moment has come. Every third fragrance seems to have like a pistachio note in it, whereas I feel like 5 years ago you never saw that really mentioned. But much like fashion, the fragrances will experience trends. So speaking of all over hair and body sprays, Glossier is entering the chat. All right, so they have one entitled Orange Blossom Neroli, and those are the notes that they are mentioning. And they also have one called Sandstone, and this one seems like it'll be a little bit more original. It features fig leaf, clary sage, and sandalwood, and I think fig is starting to pop up a lot more in designer fragrances, so these sound intriguing. I'm not like a Glossier stan or anything like that, but I would at least like to see how this fig and clary sage one smells. It sounds like one that could go right or extremely left, just depending on how they execute that fig, honey. All right, so this next one is from Juliette Has a Gun. It's got Givaudan written all over it, looking at this scent profile breakdown, but it's called Skins. And this I want to smell because, baby, one thing I can use is something skin, musk, Givaudan for summer. And this, it just sounds really intriguing, honestly. So this one has top notes of lychee and ginger, middle notes of ackee gala wood and Georgie wood, base notes of papyrus, roasted tonka bean, vanilla, and musk. Just sign me up. Sign me up because I need to get my notes on this ASAP. So this next fragrance is a Middle Eastern fragrance. This is from the brand Gulf Orchid. I have just a couple from their house. What I have, I actually really enjoy. So this one really has me interested because I love a honey note in a fragrance, just depending on the way that it's done. And because they are launching this one, you know, for summer, I just feel like it's going to be really beautiful and wearable. I don't know if this is supposed to be a dupe for anything else. Have no idea. Looking at the notes, like, I don't know what it could be, but you all enlighten me if you have any clue. This is called Oh Honey. Oh, my apologies. I said Gulf Orchid. Actually, Maison Asrar is the house. So this will feature notes of black currant, spicy apple, and citruses in the top. You're going to have middle notes of white flowers, honey, and cedarwood, and you have a beautiful base of sandalwood, vanilla, and orchinox. Again, something like musky, molecular, but this one sounds nice. Again, I don't know if it's supposed to be a dupe for something, but this is one I really do want to check out, and I will as soon as it's released. If it's not already available when this airs, it will be coming very very soon because they have really been laying it thick on the advertisements for that one. So it's gonna drop any day. So next up is from the house of Kajal, and this is called Colada. I want to blind buy this, but the way that I was burned with the last one, Ruby, I will not be blind buying it. I will be patient because every single note in Ruby spoke to me. The fragrance, however, like the notes are not the end all be all, okay? Depending on the way it's blended, the way certain notes come off on your skin into your nose, it just smelled so artificial and not like a Kajal fragrance. I did not enjoy it. Finally decluttered it, but yeah. So Colada sounds promising, but we shall see. It's another pineapple, and if you are new to fragrance, pineapple is like a note that Kajal does well. I would say that. So this one opens with pineapple, bergamot, and fruity notes. You have middle notes of violet, lily of the valley, and you have base notes of amber, benzoin, and coconut milk. Very excited to get my nose on it at least, but I can always use a phenomenal pineapple in my collection for this time of year, and I seem to be seeing a lot of pineapple pop up. I recently just added Revel, which is a pineapple fragrance from the maker, and I wish I had that on hand before I film my pineapple video, but hey, like I said, we can always use more. So Guerlain will be launching another fragrance for the Artsy Materials line. I was finally able to smell Peche Mirage, and it was beautiful. Don't really know if it was one, like I didn't feel compelled to buy a bottle, because if I loved it, probably would have just bought it right then, but I was only able to smell it on paper, and I want to try it on my skin just to see kind of what we're giving. But on paper, to me, the leather was probably just like a touch more than what I would like. It was done very soft and very nice, but I didn't get the peach for as long as I thought I would either. So this one is all about the vetiver. This is called a vetiver fauve, and these are just rumored notes, but it's supposed to have fig, pineapple. I just said we sent a lot of fig and pineapple, didn't I? Tropical accord, cedarwood, tonka bean, vetiver. This note construction breakdown here, if it's accurate, this is going to be a little different for Guerlain. Like, I don't think Guerlain would think tropical accord. I don't think pineapple. It is going to be from, you know, their little master nose, you know, for the past few years, Miss Delphine Joke. So very interested to see what they come up with. One thing I am not a fan of is having one nose behind fragrance after fragrance after fragrance after fragrance. Like, I don't know, it just adds to, it's just not a good thing for me personally. Like, I know people love to have, you know, their house master perfumers, but I like to see it, like, I like to see it switched up a little bit. I just really do with the perfumers. I love me a good Terry Wasser, but we see Delphine on like all of the things coming out from this line, and I just think that at this point they could use a little bit more variety as far as the noses that they have behind these, just because when is the last time we had an Arts Materials that was just like super trending? I loved Honey Tobacco, but it's just like, baby, these early Arts Materials was bussin'. I'm talking about phenomenal. Even the more elevated like extraits that they came out with, so many of them smell like just slightly differently composed versions of some of their older Arts Materials, which would be such a bummer if you blind bought some of those, like the Tonka one. Oh my god, it smells so similar to what is it, Tonka Imperial, I think, which is lovely. Like, I really might add that one. It's been on my wish list forever. May add it come fall, but my point is they need to just kind of mix it up a little bit, because as expensive as these Arts Materials are getting, I need to have my head popped off with what I'm smelling. Like, it needs to stun. So we will see, but this one sounds really nice. The vetiver of it all is just making me think it's going to lean masculine, but we shall see. So this next one is from the house that I have nothing from, but I might want to change that because I've always been so intrigued from this brand, just never made the effort to sample it or, you know, pop in and try it in store. Ramon Monegal, and this one is called Matador. Bottle is calling my name with this hot fuchsia pink type of color they got going on, and the notes sound like it would be really beautiful and complex and a perfect sexy summer scent. So this one opens with incense, rosewood, pear, and cumin. You have middle notes of passion fruit, magnolia, rose, and jasmine, and you have base notes of coconut, leather, sandalwood, and musk. Pause for me is going to be that leather. We got to see how much leather we're talking, because if you overshoot, it will just seem too much. Like, and it's really easy to turn me off with the leather notes. So we will see. I definitely want to smell it though. So speaking of more body sprays, more body mist, Lake and Sky, they're about to launch 4. I'm just going to give you the names. I'm not going to go through all the notes. Don't want this video to get too long, but Lake and Sky, they seem to have fragrances that people really do enjoy. They're not super expensive. Still haven't got my nose on any of them, but you know what? Ulta is calling my name. We may take a little trek up there because there's some other things that I want to smell. So the first one is called 444 Sunkissed and Manoy. The second one is 222. Y'all can come up with no better names than this. Cosmic Cocoa and Musk. Ooh, 555 Strawberry and is it air? Strawberry and air? We are really adding air to the mix. Okay. I was gonna be excited, but I don't know. Let me just, out of intrigue, let me see the rest of the notes they mixing with this air, child. Okay, strawberry pink pepper, and then more strawberry. Okay. Now we might have to get our nose on this. Strawberry, muguet, iris, and then you have base notes of dry amber, vanilla, sandalwood, and musk. That one does have me intrigued, I must say. So the last one, girl, also featuring fig. Jesus Christ. Okay. So this one sounds woody, fresh, complex, and this is called Sheer Fig and Salt. That seems like it would be really popular if they can get the fig right. So this one has grapefruit blossom, clary sage, and bergamot. Middle notes of cyclamen, marine notes, and amberwood, and you have base notes of sea moss, driftwood, and sandalwood. So this sounds like it will be a nice little collection, but again, I'm not a huge body mist girl. I do get a lot sent to me. If I can recommend you 2 houses to really dive into their body sprays because they smell so good and they really do lend to scents that you would expect from a perfume. Like this is, we've graduated from Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret. It's going to be Phlur and it's going to be Sniff. Like they offer some really beautiful scents that you're almost a little upset that this is a body mist concentration. Like, girl, where is the EDP? Now they did give us an EDP for vanilla skin, but I was not a fan because they switched it up just a little bit too much to give us that EDP. But I digress. So there are 2 coming from Gallagher fragrances. Well, really one from Gallagher, the other is from Pearl Essence, but they're sister companies, same owners, you know, same family owned business. They have Crimson Veil, which sounds like it's going to be the more masculine leaning, and Glowberry. And I got a package for them. I'm thinking I might have both of them downstairs waiting on me to go sniff today. So if I want to share I will share my thoughts about them, but I hope that at least Glowberry is a love. Now it has the patchouli and Glowberry, so we're gonna have to see, because they can really go hard with their patchouli notes sometimes, but we will see, because typically their patchouli, it passes the test for me, but we're gonna see. This one sounds so good and perfect for this time of year. I cannot wait to sniff. So it has notes of mandarin, apricot, raspberry, strawberry tart, blackcurrant, raw sugar, magnolia, spring leaf, sandalwood, cashmere, vanilla, patchouli, musk. Sounds like it's gonna be sweet, cozy, fruity. Just that's the first thing I'm doing when I wrap filming. I'm going to smell this fragrance that they sent to me. So the notes for Crimson Veil are fresh berries, bergamot, timid pepper, Turkish rose, teak wood, clary sage, frankincense, oak moss, leather, and mineral notes. Definitely sounds like it's going to lean a little bit more masculine, but the rose, the fresh berries, the frankincense, I'm thinking this may be unisex, but maybe okay for me to wear. We will see. The mineral notes, they can go ham on the mineral notes too. Okay, and that leather, we're gonna have to see. But it sounds like it's going to be a wonderful complex fragrance, which is what we have come to actually know and expect and love from Gallagher fragrances. So from the House of Obvious, we have 3 new fragrances. Now I don't own any from this brand, but I have been smelling them in store the past couple times I've been outside, and I'm liking it. Like, ooh, I don't know. What are your favorite Obvious fragrances? Do you have have any. ScentSplit reached out to me and they asked, what house do you want to just fully explore so we can send you samples? And I'm considering this house. But the first one sounds right up my alley. It's called Kakigori Dolce de Leche, okay? And it features notes of hazelnut, cardamom, black pepper. We already intriguing from the top, okay? It sounds beautiful. And we have sesame and dulce de leche in the mid. I love me a good sesame note. God knows I love me a good caramel dulce de leche, milky, creamy, sweet, anything. But the base is vanilla, sandalwood, and Gaiac wood. Sign me up. I am at least going to get my nose on this one because it sounds amazing. Now the other one sounds really interesting, but I don't know if this is going to be my vibe because I don't know why they would mention salted prune as a note when you could have just put plum. The name of the fragrance is Kakigori Plum Cream, and this one has notes of Divana and rum. You have middle notes of salted plum, immortelle, and Ciste? I've never heard of this note. C-I-S-T-E. Don't know what that's supposed to be. Base notes of Cipriol, Siffiano leather. I don't know exactly what that note is supposed to smell like in comparison to just like a traditional leather note. And you have oak wood. So what are your thoughts on that one? I don't know. Something about this, I feel like I'm going to get like this masculine vibe, but we shall see. Now this one sounds like it might be up my alley. I love a rose and I'm loving my clean, fresh fragrances. This is called Kakigori White Crush, and it opens with clean notes and pink pepper, middle notes of iris and rose, love me a iris, love me a rose, and we have base notes of white musk and tonka bean. This could be so beautiful and just a easy grab and go scent. Dying to know what they do with it. It needs to smell like a little original and unique, and I kind of feel like that's what that house gives just based on what I've smelled. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with a note breakdown like this. It sounds like just clean and easy, but can you make it interesting? Okay, so that is it for obvious. So speaking of more body sprays, we have a flanker from Phlur. Well, let me stop. I don't know if it's a flanker, but it is a vanilla body spray. This one is called Vanilla Nectar. So it may be its own standalone, I don't know. Looking at the notes, it may have nothing to do with the vanilla skin. They have a particular DNA, especially when there's any vanilla or amber or anything like that mentioned in these body sprays. But this sounds, just throw it in the bag. I mean, this sounds like one I absolutely would enjoy. It has opening notes of papaya, apricot, sugared tangelo, middle notes of peach blossom, coconut, orchid, jasmine dew, and you have base notes of cedar wood, honeyed amber, and whipped vanilla. So yeah, just sign me up for that one. So yes, what are your thoughts? Are you excited about that Phlur right there? Because I know I am. By the way, absolutely loving and enjoying their beach skin and peach skin releases. I will dive into those in future videos, but honey, they're a hit for me. So next we have something from Swiss Arabian. I am always here for a good Swiss Arabian, and this one sounds beautiful. I don't think it's going to be a dupe for anything like many of this particular line that they feature. This is going to be called Soul of Dubai. This is an extrait, and this features a mosaic of beautiful notes. So let's get into it. Opening notes of ginger, bergamot, mango, pineapple, rhubarb, pink pepper, middle notes of cardamom, saffron, nutmeg, aquatic notes, rosewood, and frankincense, and you have base notes of cypriol, ambergris, sandalwood, and musk. Wow. I hope it leans feminine. That's the only thing I don't know, because I don't see nothing about no praline, no vanilla. So I don't know. It may lean masculine. Who knows? But we shall see. It sounds beautiful either way. I think I'm going to wrap this one up with one more new release that is actually available. Okay, it's a Harris exclusive for right now, but I got the word on the street from the brand that it will be in the US soon, but I think this is going to be a Neiman's exclusive. So this is from the house of Ormond Jane, and this is Vanilla Mistral. It sounds beautiful. If you have smelled Vanilla Freaks, baby, they know how to do a unique vanilla. So this one features notes of pistachio, cardamom, black pepper, and pomegranate in the top. You have middle notes of fig, violet, cashmere, and vanilla, and you have base notes of vetiver, ambergris, and sandalwood. Oh my God. I am so tempted to buy it from Harrods because I feel like once they drop it in Neiman's, baby, it's probably gonna be $100 more. It's calling my name, but I'm gonna be patient. We're gonna see who has the best price, but I am dying to smell that one. So that is it for me, you guys. Please drop me a line below. Let me know fragrances that you are anticipating, okay? And there's nothing wrong with watching from the sidelines. You do not need to buy every new release. You don't need to feel compelled to just, you know, blind buy and impulse buy, because the new releases never end. I have really cut back on my fragrance buying for sure, and I do this for a living. So I'm totally here for you if you just want to sit and observe. But some of these I will be picking up, and I will absolutely be sharing my thoughts with you. But let me know in the comments which ones are you intrigued by the most. It has been real. Make sure you are subscribed, and I love you all, YouTube. We'll catch you guys on the next one.